It's one of the worst natural disasters to ever hit South Carolina.
South Carolina has a rich history in tropical systems, and our very own Chandler Jordan takes us on a look back in time.
1851, 44 tropical cyclones have made landfall in South Carolina. It all began with our first major storm, the Great Charleston Hurricane of 1893. 61 years later, Hazel made landfall as a Category 4 near Myrtle Beach. To this day, Hazel remains the strongest, farthest north landfall on record. Gracie arrived as a major hurricane in 1959. Then 30 years later, Hugo arrived, changing many of our lives forever.
Wednesday afternoon, Hurricane Hugo swirled in the Atlantic, playing Russian roulette with the coast.
Hurricane Hugo made landfall near Sullivan's Island, September 22, 1989. At landfall, Hugo was a Category 4 major hurricane with sustained winds around the eye of the storm of 140 miles per hour. Because of Hugo's forward momentum, hurricane-force winds were expected to reach the Midlands.
And I remember we had a meeting in the newsroom with our weather folks, and they emphasized how bad this storm was going to be.
In 1989, sports director Rick Henry was new to WIS. Rick and his young family had just moved into a brand new home in Irma.
And we were huddled together on the floor. My son was like 6 years old.
Throughout the night, Rick and his family hunkered down as hurricane-force wind gusts ripped through Irma. Through it all, Rick remained calm, even though his mom and childhood home were facing the worst of Hugo.
And I was on the phone with my mother. She's there in McBee by herself. And it's a little worse there. And, I can hear the concern in her voice, and then the phone goes dead. You just have to try to remain calm, for my family's sake, and just hope and pray that we'll come through this okay.
Thankfully, Rick's prayers were answered. His home here in Irma, damage-free. Although his home in McBee suffered damage, his mom stayed safe throughout the storm. McBee was located close to the northeast eye wall, which is the strongest part of any tropical system. During Hugo, this concentrated area of strong winds moved right over Camden.
Hugo was devastating to South Carolina, really.
Former Camden Mayor Mary Clark was on city council during Hugo. The amount of destroyed trees and power lines she saw the next morning is something she'll never forget.
It was a real trying time, and our electric department worked 7 days a week, 16-hour days until Christmas Eve.
Hugo left behind a long road to recovery. 23 counties in South Carolina reported substantial damage to local forestry. At the time, Hugo was the nation's costliest storm, with damage estimates over $7 billion. Within the widespread destruction, Hugo claimed the lives of at least 86 people. Hurricane Hugo serves as a reminder to all of us as to why we prepare for the 5th season. Reporting in Camden, I'm First Alert meteorologist Chandler Jordan.